Welcome back. Today I'll be talking about the brand new Olight Baton 4 Premium Edition flashlight and going over 4 of its brand new features. Plus I'll be comparing it directly with the Olight Baton 3 right here. So let's check it out. This is everything the Olight Baton 4 Premium Edition comes with. I'll give you a look at the box right here, lumens and runtime information on the back, but we'll go over that shortly. Also comes with a Type A to Type C charging cable. Also, here's an adjustable lanyard, and it also comes with a pin tool. This is new. It comes with a microfiber cleaning cloth for your lens, some safety information, and user manual. But let's put all this off to the side over here, and I'll give you a close-up of the Baton 4 Premium Edition from Olight. And while you guys are checking this out, let's talk about some of the features. The Baton 4 has a maximum output of 1300 lumens, a maximum throwing distance of 170 meters, and a max intensity of 7,225 candela. It also has a 30-day runtime on moonlight. Now, those are all improvements over the Baton 3's 1200 lumens, 166 meters of throw, 6,889 candela, and 20 days of runtime. The charging case can also charge the Baton 4 up to 5 times, as opposed to the charging case on the Baton 3's 3.7 times. It features 5 brightness levels plus strobe, and everything is controlled with a single side switch. Inside, there's a 3.6 volt, 650 milliamp hour, 16340 rechargeable lithium-ion battery that can be charged right through the tail with Olight's magnetic charger, which isn't included, or you can just plop it right in the charging case. And that charging case has a USB Type-C charging port right on the outside. The waterproof rating is also IPX8. That means the dust proofing wasn't tested, and the 8 means it's submersible in up to 6 feet of water. All right, let's talk dimensions. It has a length of 2.48 inches and a bezel diameter of 0.83 inches. And according to my weight test, it comes in at 1.9 ounces. That's 54 grams. And yes, I did weigh the flashlight with the battery in it. And the flashlight with the battery inside of the charging case comes in at 7 ounces, and that's 198 grams. So overall, Olight really improved on the Baton 4 over the previous Baton 3. There's about 100 more lumens in the Baton 4 and about 4 more meters of throw. I know that's nothing to really write home about, but it's still an improvement. There's also 336 more candela in the new Baton 4 and 10 more days of runtime, on top of getting 5 more charges out of the brand new charging case right here. Now that's a big improvement over the 3.7 times charging in the Baton 3 charging case. Now there's some other upgrades in the brand new charging case right here, but I'll talk about those when I go over the new features very shortly. But right now, let's take a look at some of the aesthetic differences between the 3 and the 4 right here. The first thing I noticed was that brand new metal side switch as opposed to the rubberized side switch in the Baton 3. Also, there's not an LED right dead center of that switch anymore as we saw on the Baton 3 that indicates your battery life. No, now they gave us a brand new interface right here that shows battery life on one side and the brightness level on the other. And those are boot up LEDs that go off after a few seconds. So if I turn it back on there, you can see it shows our battery life right there on that side, our brightness level on that side, and you can see it just went right off. It's a very tiny little thing, but I do like when they go out, so this is a big improvement for me. And other than that, there's nothing else that's changed aesthetically from the 3 to the 4. You can see the magnetic tail switch, exactly the same exact 2-way pocket clip. The length and the bezel diameter are exactly the same. The only other thing that I can see that's changed, you can see right here, it's more of a rounded button on the 3 as opposed to a very flat button right there on the Baton 4. Now that's going to come into play a little bit later on when I show you what can charge in the Baton 4 case versus what could charge in the Baton 3 case. In fact, let's talk about that right now. The Baton 4 case, the charging case here, is completely redesigned. The Baton 4 case is just slightly longer, not by much though, but it is a lot thicker. If I show you from the top, you can see exactly what I'm talking about there. And then from the back, you can see the size differences there. So the Baton 4 case is larger, but this new charging case does a lot more than the Baton 3 case ever could. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which I already said can charge the Baton 4 another 5 times, which is fantastic in my opinion. That makes the Baton 4 a great flashlight for outdoors, for camping. Anytime you go on long trips, I'm going to want to have this in my pocket just because you have a total of 6 charges with this whole system. Next, and this is one of the new features I wanted to talk about, it now has a power bank capability. You can see the USB Type-C charging port right there on the bottom. That's where you charge the flashlight with its included Type A to Type-C charging cable, but you can also use that to charge your devices if you need it. It also has a digital battery life indicator that's indicated right there when you open it up. You can see right now I'm at 100%. It has a charging LED indicator right there, so when you plop your Baton 4 in there, you can see that lights up, and that lights up green right there. So right now I'm at 100%, but if it was charging, it would glow red. And one of my favorite new features of the Baton 4 is the battery life digital display right there I just showed you. That's actually a button. And if you press that button, it activates the Baton 4 while it's in the charging case. That's right, you can use the Baton 4 while in the charging case. And if you want to turn it off, just close the lid. Turns off the flashlight. I absolutely love this. I could just take this out of my pocket, flip it open, hit that button, see what I have to see, close it right up. I think it's fantastic. And the fourth new feature I wanted to talk about was when it is open and on, if you press and hold that digital display button, there is a stepless ramp all the way up to turbo. And then if you let it go and then press it down, it ramps all the way back down to low right there. I love the ability to have a stepless ramp up while in the charging case. I think this is very, very cool. And you can also turn it off from the charging case button out here. So you can just turn it on, turn it off. You don't have to close it if you don't want to. And while it's off, if you press and hold, it activates that half lumen moonlight mode. So the ability to use the flashlight while it's still in the charging case and have a stepless ramp up and ramp down, I think is great. But it's not all perfect. You would think because the brightness level can ramp up and ramp down in the charging case, you can do it outside of the charging case. You can't. Once it's out of the charging case, it just goes by steps. You can see low, medium, and high. There's no way to ramp up and ramp down that brightness level. And I want to say this again, that's not a huge deal, but when I saw that you can do the stepless dimming inside of the case, but couldn't do it outside of the case, I was sort of disappointed. I'm used to it. We're all used to it, having the hard steps, low, medium, and high in flashlights, but after I saw that, I sort of wanted it here. Also, the Baton 4 charging case doesn't only charge the Baton 4. If you have a Baton 3, it'll charge that, as you can see right there. And everything the Baton 4 charging case can charge is listed right there on the very top. It can also charge the S1R Baton 2. So plop that in there. You can see that starts to charge. And two of my favorite flashlights from Olight, the Perun Mini. Plop that in there. It now charges in the new Baton 4 charging case, and the Perun Mini 2. Check that out. So that makes this charging case extremely versatile. It can charge 5 different flashlights right here from Olight. It can charge your Baton 4 up to 5 times, can work as a power bank, and you can use the Baton 4 while it's in the charging case with a stepless ramp up and down. And I know somebody's gonna ask, can you use these other flashlights in the charging case and use it as a flashlight like you could the Baton 4? You can't. Just to demonstrate, if I put the Perun Mini in there and try to turn it on, it doesn't work. The S1R Baton 2 doesn't work. The Perun Mini 2, no go. But the Baton 3, technically, yes, it does work with the outside button, but the stepless dimming does not work. All right, let's go over the brightness levels and runtime. 5 brightness levels plus strobe. So as a very small compact flashlight, I think the mode spacing here is decent, even though there's a big jump between medium and high, 60 lumens to 600 lumens, and another big jump from high to turbo. But as is, it's decent, and you're gonna see that when we go out there and do the beam test. All right, let's go over the UI. Typical Olight UI. A single press on and a single press off. When it's on, you press and hold for 3 cyclable modes. That's low, medium, and high. Double press for turbo. Turn it off, press and hold for a couple seconds, and there's a half lumen moonlight mode. Triple click to reach strobe, and that's the only special mode here. And it does have a button press lockout from off, press and hold. It's gonna go past moonlight, then turn off. Now it's locked out. And to unlock, just repeat the steps, press and hold. and it's going to go right to Moonlight. Now we're unlocked. It also has an auto off feature, either for 3 or 9 minutes. I never use it, but if you want to use it, you have to press once and then press and hold. I'm not going to demonstrate that here, but just know it does have that feature. So as I said, typical UI, very easy, very simple to learn. But now it also has the UI, which I already demonstrated while it's in the charging case. Just one press on, one press off. And then when it's on, hold the button down for that stepless ramp up or ramp down. Now, as much as I like the stepless ramp up and ramp down, I don't like that you can't let go of the button and immediately change directions on the dim up or dim down. Meaning once I press it in, it's going to start ramping up. And then when it reaches maximum, you're going to see the turbo indication right there where those 3 lights were flashing. And now I let go, press it again, and now it'll start ramping back down until I reach low. But what I want is to press and hold, ramp up, let go, press and hold, and ramp back down. But you can see it just keeps going up until I reach the maximum or minimum. So I wish you can change the direction of the brightness up or brightness down by letting go and then pressing the button back down again. You just can't do it here. All right, now it's time for my not so scientific turbo test. I'm not going to do a heat test today. Why? Because it's only a 1300 lumen flashlight and it doesn't get hot at all. Just running the flashlight on turbo for 3 minutes, I touched it and I can barely feel any heat at all. So no sense in doing a heat test, but the turbo test, I definitely saw a step down within those 3 minutes. While I'm editing, I'll see the exact number and I'll put that on the screen right now when it started to step down and when it ended that step down. All right, I'm gonna start here with the Baton 4. I'm gonna start on low. Right there. And as expected, 12 lumens isn't going to show much. So let's just go right to medium. Still not really seeing much, but in the immediate vicinity, it's not bad. Kind of see that profile right there. Very large hotspot. Look at that. So that's not bad. I like to see a larger hotspot in my EDC flashlights. I don't want to see a tight hotspot. I want to save that for my tack lights. Let's go to high. There we go. 600 lumens. I'm easily hitting the barn and the tree right there. And as always, I'll put up those distances on the screen. And the beam here looks to be more of a neutral white. And in lower brightness modes, in Moonlight and low, it does have a slight greenish tint to it, but it's not bad. It really isn't bad. I just wanted to mention that. But that's pretty common these days, which is unfortunate. But let's go to turbo. There we go, 1300 lumens. And not a bad beam, I have to say. I'm loving that large hotspot right there. You can see that outer perimeter, if I just hold the flash or the camera still and pan. So it gives you an idea of how floody or not floody the beam is. I think it's pretty good. Like I'm looking around here, I can see almost everything. That's really impressive. This is a tiny little flashlight and that's not bad. So that is the Baton 4. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to compare this to the Baton 3. There's low, medium. Let's go right to high. And, interesting. Looks like the Baton 3 almost has a wider hotspot. It's been a while since I used this flashlight. I sort of forgot. Low, medium, high, and turbo. Yeah. I mean, it sort of has a wider hotspot. The Baton 4 sort of has a crispier perimeter and crispier hotspot, but I believe the Baton 3 right here is wider. Look at the beam profile here. It looks like it's a wider beam. Just want to double check that again, but there's the Baton 3. And let's bring in the Baton 4. Try to do this quick. 2, 3. Right there. Yeah, definitely. So the Baton 3 has a wider beam and a larger hotspot than the Baton 4. But the Baton 4 has more intensity, more throw, and more lumens. Which one do you guys like better? It's a tough call. I mean, I am liking this tighter beam right here, and we're not really losing a lot on the sides here. So it's not like it's that much less floodier. And I can definitely see everything here. So that's interesting. But that's enough of this location. Let's go to the second location here. So overall, I think the Baton 4 is an improvement over the Baton 3 Pro, but not a huge improvement. Where the huge improvement lies is right here in the charging case. So as a kit with the new Baton 4 charging case and Baton 4, I think is a huge improvement over the previous Baton 3 and charging case. Yes, they improved the output, the throw, and the candela on the Baton 4, but that's why I said it's an improvement, but not a huge improvement, because 100 lumens more, 4 more meters of throw, and 336 more candela. The 10 more days of runtime definitely is an improvement, but that's on a half lumen Moonlight. As much as I like Moonlight, I'm not going to be using only Moonlight for 30 days straight. So I'm going to say it again. It's definitely an improvement, but not a gigantic, huge improvement. I'm going to save that for the charging case right here. 5 times charging in this case versus 3.7 times. It has the ability to charge the Baton 4, the Baton 3, the S1R II, the Perun Mini, and the Perun Mini 2. That makes this case extremely versatile. Plus, it has a power bank feature, which I really like, and the ability to plop your Baton 4 in there and use it right when it's in the case with stepless dimming. I think it's great. Plus, I love the digital battery life indicator right there on the outside. So overall, as a package, I can definitely recommend this over the Baton 3 if you guys are looking at them side by side. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Olight Baton 4? If you want to check it out for yourself, I will have links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe. And go!